Shah Rukh is constantly rediscovering himself also, and I think he's in a phase of understanding how to work. He's in a transition phase, I feel.
He's very, I think, excited about Alia and Randeep's performances as well, I believe.
Right, but what actually the important thing that Ranbir has done is inspired me to make this film. It's very difficult to explain it. Like when you listen to the album of Tamasha, you'll understand why it can be an album of the film Tamasha.
Ranbir Kapoor एक बड़ा जानवर in the way that he's a very good actor.
1 to 10 तो ये है. अभी 11 देखना पड़ेगा.
The film did pretty well overseas. Why do you think is it happening that Shah Rukh Khan, in spite of the fact that he's having such a tremendous fan following, I think he's having like a crazy. He has a crazy fan following. Why is it that his films are not like really just turning into box office the way it should be? Because he has like a when it's his birthday, the way the sort of atmosphere which is there outside his house, like it's crazy. What do you personally feel, as someone who has worked with him closely and who knows he's extremely ambitious guy. He just gives it all his all in the entire thing, whatever he does.
Shah Rukh is constantly rediscovering himself also, and I think he's in a phase of understanding how to work. He's in a transition phase, I feel, mentally. To do work, I'm not talking about the kind of roles or the age of roles. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that the kind of films that he should be doing. So because he's been doing a certain kind of films that were popular, and he wants to do some certain other kinds of films also. So there is I feel, I mean, I could be wrong, and I'm not a spokesperson for him, but I feel that he's also transitioning and trying to come to the kind of films that he should be working in. So this is a process. I think more different from the ones he's worked, like more a little bit more artistic, very like popular, like a Chak De India, like something which is more modern. Exactly, exactly, that he produced. So he's opening out to a different kind of cinema, and he feels that kind of cinema interests him and also interests the youth, and interests the market now. But I think for him to he's basically it's not as though he's playing safe. If you don't play safe, then there are certain times that you will get run.
Every movie that I make, I want everybody to just love it, and maximum numbers of people to watch it and love it and be entertained by it. But at the same time, I also want to make the movie that I want to make. There has to be a balance between deen and dunya over here. I try that. I am certain times more successful to come up to this balance, and sometimes I'm not. But ऐसा तो कोई फॉर्मूला होता नहीं है कि जो मुझे पता हो कि ऐसे बनाऊंगा तो सब लोगों को पसंद आ जाएगी. कुछ लोगों को कुछ चीज़ पसंद आती है, कुछ लोगों को कोई चीज़ थोड़ी कम पसंद आती है. मगर ओवरऑल जो तमाशा का जो एक रिस्पॉन्स था वो मेरे लिए बहुत ज़्यादा इनकरेजिंग था. अब मैं वो फिल्म को देखता हूँ तो मुझे लगता है कि यार इतने सारे लोगों ने अगर इस फिल्म को लाइक किया है, और जिस तरह से लाइक किया है, सिर्फ वो नंबर ही नहीं होता लोगों के अंदर. मतलब आज ही मुझे पता चला, आज मैं प्रीतम से मिल गया तो वो कह रहा था कि कोई है जिसने अपना जॉब छोड़ दिया और फिर वो सिंगर बन गई after watching the film. Lot of people have actually got very affected by the film.
I think Ranbir was outstanding. And the way I think Deepika complimented him without competing somewhere. I think Ranbir was outstanding.
There have been a lot of times when the three of us have just sat down and talked nonsense for hours, and those are the things that I think I will really carry from this film. I have never seen actors give so much of themselves to a movie, that as much as they have to this one, and I hope that they get what they want, what they are desiring at this moment from this film. But the times that I've spent with Ranbir and Deepika just talking nonsense has been the best in Tamasha.
Working with Rahman sir is always extremely special, and then he has this ability to make the score of every film very different from anything that he's done before, or especially with me, and gives that distinctive unknown quality to an album to make it more like the film. It's very difficult to explain it. Like when you listen to the album of Tamasha, you'll understand why it can be an album of the film Tamasha. and why highway is highway and rockstar is rockstar. You know, the basic spirit of the film comes into his music. And in this time we've got a little tadak bhadak wala gana because it's all tamasha. It's like being performed like that, which was not so much the case in highway, let's say, or even in rockstar.
Ranbir's performance in Rockstar, he's won all sorts of awards for that, and I think he just took himself to another level. Barfi, he gave a fantastic performance. Ye Jawani Diwani, it's looking very good. As a performer, do you think that he's evolving with every passing film, and the way he just tries to give everything something new extra to his movies and his performances?
An extraordinary actor. He's an extraordinary worker. You know, his attitude as a person is just completely unusual. You will never find an actor like him. I think not only is he a great actor, I think he is a boon to the Indian film industry, because it's people like him that will take things forward in this industry.
Absolutely.
He's not scared of taking risks. He's not scared of speaking the truth. He's not worried about what reputation he has. He is interested in film, and he's interested in the work that he's doing. And you know, it shows, because only 3 actors have got Filmfare awards in successive years, and he's one of them. There's Dilip Kumar, Sanjeev Kumar, and Ranbir Kapoor.
Filmfare awards is debatable actually.
Whatever it
Dilip
is.
Kumar, Sanjeev Kumar के time पर definitely it was.
हो सकता है,
But I think he's beyond awards. I think he deserved a national award for maybe Rockstar. Maybe he didn't get it.
Yeah,
So,
no,
his
he didn't get
performance
it because we didn't apply for it.
अच्छा
ऐसी
अच्छा
बेवकूफ़ी की थी हमने. जी.
Okay, okay.
Music को किसी को भी नहीं मिला.
Oh shit, that is अच्छा अच्छा.
Yeah, the producer was supposed to, but we were doing something else, and you know.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere in fact.
लोगों को ये बात ज़रूर पता है हमेशा से कि रणबीर कपूर एक बड़ा जानवर है, in the way that he's a very good actor.
Hungry basically. Very hungry.
और एक level है, वो तो that we've always known. So sometimes, like I was telling him, that I feel that people were already kind of subconsciously waiting for you to give you that accolade that they wanted to. They were waiting for something to happen, some time to come right, and Rockstar kind of just became that.
And he's very, I think, excited about Alia and Randeep's performances as well, I believe.
Right, but what actually the important thing that Ranbir has done is inspired me to make this film. It's a little strange that he wasn't even going to be in the film, but he really inspired and pushed me in the earlier stages that I should make this film. He felt that it's going to be important for me somehow.
Who troubled you the most on Tamasha sets, Ranbir or Deepika?
Most Ranbir, because he's not here.
Hottest Bollywood actress according to you, other than Deepika Padukone?
1 to 10 तो ये है. अभी 11 देखना पड़ेगा.
So I think just for this answer, yes.
Yeah, I've won
easily.
I've won easily.
And she'll be more than happy to do that.
I'm happy.
Even this entire freedom from censorship is something that is attracting a lot of people. You faced a lot, be it Tamasha or your other films as well, that words were muted and so many things have happened. Does that make you more free as a creative person, that while you're writing something, so you don't have to just censor yourself inherently, that यार ये तो सेंसर बोर्ड किस तरीके से पास होने नहीं देंगे?
I think it's a definite advantage, but it's again not the biggest advantage that censorship does not exist over here. I think every responsible filmmaker has to self-censor. A lot of things can even pass through the censor board, but you should know that you shouldn't be putting that out because it has a wrong message. So censorship का ना होना एक बहुत बड़ा advantage है. For the digital medium, but more than that, as I'm saying, duration is the biggest advantage.